All right, we'll get started here. We'd like to welcome Quinn Riley into the interview room here at the Wells Fargo Championship. Quinn is competing this week on a sponsor exemption, and this is his third career start on the PGA Tour. Quinn, I know this is an exciting opportunity for you. If we could just get an opening comment on what it means to be competing here at the Wells Fargo Championship.
Absolutely. I just want to start by thanking the Wells Fargo for giving me this opportunity, being hometown, close to home, being able to have family out here means the world to me.
And, I know you're a product of the first tee, so as you've progressed through your golf career, how cool is it to be getting these starts on the PGA Tour, knowing you're coming from the first tee?
Yeah, all the opportunities started with the first tee for me in golf, and kind of coming full circle, being able to work with Wells Fargo and seeing what they do with the first tee, and just creating more opportunities for young golfers like myself. It's awesome.
All right, we'll take some questions out here. If you have a question, we'll get a microphone to you. Do we have a... yeah, there we go. I'll start right here in the front.
Quinn, what's your experience level with Quail Hollow Club, and what do you know from watching this tournament and hearing about it and hearing from other players about it?
I've actually never played here before, so this is all new to me. But I did watch reruns of Tiger in '07, tearing this place up. So it's I'm not spinning it back out of the rough like he was, but it's definitely challenging and it's cool to see.
Cameron?
What have you learned in seeing the PGA Tour up close? Because you've done it a couple times now, and what is sort of the next step for you, so to speak, to really be able to get it done out here and play on the weekend?
Well, first of all, the main thing is that I realize that I'm not that far off, and secondly, like, all the guys out here are pretty much doing the same thing, controlling their ball, being strategic around the course, and yeah, main thing is just the experience I've gotten is learning that I'm not far off and I know kind of what I need to work on.
We'll go to Shane on the left.
How do you feel about weed whackers?
They're loud. They're loud and makes it hard to do this.
Yeah. Real question. Can you just give a little bit about your background, where you're from, like how you got into golf, and maybe your journey to where you are now?
Yeah, I was born in Minnesota, but I've lived in Raleigh my whole life, pretty much. And I grew up North Raleigh, played at Wildwood. Those are my stomping grounds, and moved over to Lonnie Pool when I was about 15. And just been playing there. Got an opportunity to play at Duke for 4 years, graduated, turned pro, and have had a great time as a pro so far with a lot of amazing opportunities.
How do you feel about John Shire?
John Shire. I fell out of love, like, I don't know. After my freshman year with Zion and RJ and Cam, like, it didn't really mean much to me after that, but I haven't really kept up with it.
We got one in the front up here.
Oh, you mentioned Tiger Woods a while ago. Are there any golfers that you model your game after, and is Tiger one of those guys?
Yeah, just I think everyone kind of models themselves after Tiger. Just the way he moves around and handles his business, and being efficient and not expending a whole lot of energy. I think that's kind of what I try to go after. Obviously, no one's going to emulate his game, but that's the biggest takeaway for me, just watching him do his thing.
Got one behind you, please.
Yeah. Quinn, where do you see your role or position as someone who could help grow the game in terms of diversity, and where would you say the sport is right now in terms of DEI?
I think there's some work to be done. I definitely know kind of the role I play, and I'm trying to make the game look different at this level. And I'm also trying to represent, all the people who support me well. So, all that in mind, I don't really have a role model that I look up to. I just try to be my best self, and I know I have a lot of kids who look like me looking up to me.
I was going to ask you about Marcus. Obviously, he's a little under the weather, but just what's your relationship with him? How well do you know him? And, to be here with him on an exemption, how cool was that?
Yeah, it's awesome being here with him. We've played a few times. I respect him a lot as a competitor. We haven't really hung out too much off the golf course, but he's fun to be around, and I hope he starts feeling better and is ready for Thursday.
You mentioned seeing up close that you're really not that far off, that you do the same things that these other guys do. Can you sort of be more specific about, like, specific player that you saw, like, okay, I played against that guy, I beat him in college or whatever. Was there anyone in particular?
Well, there are some guys that graduated from my class who are doing quite well on Corn Ferry, and I just played 2 holes with Max Homa, and watching him hit the ball and just go about how he structures his practice and prepares, it's stuff that I'm kind of used to doing already. So, I watch great players. They're very consistent, and they have a lot of control over their ball. And they just try to limit their mistakes and put it in good spots. So, all of that isn't really technical. It's pretty much just strategic and time efficiency.
Fair to say that you're completely over the awe factor, like you have no awe factor at all?
The what?
You're not in awe of anything that you see out here?
Well, walking around here, it's pretty normal until you bump into somebody that you're like, okay, I've only seen you on TV winning golf tournaments, so everything feels pretty normal when I'm walking around here until something like that happens, but they're just normal people at the end of the day when they don't have a club in their hands.
Any other questions? Matt?
I wanted to ask about the role that mental health and mental strength play in your success as a golfer. Can you talk a little bit about kind of building that muscle, and if there's anything that you do off the course to kind of work through the mental side of the game?
Yeah, I think that's hugely important. Mental health for me, going through college, it was tough. Just, being on a golf team, it's, college golf's structured completely different than amateur golf, and not knowing when you're going to play, and you have to beat your teammate to have a spot and a chance. So dealing with that was tough, but I think it exercised that muscle a little bit, trying to just build a little toughness. And, I have a therapist that I work with off the course, and it's more about just life stuff, because I think a lot of life stuff bleeds into how you play and just your performances. So, that's been huge for me, just having someone I can talk to and run my thoughts past and listen to me. But that's one thing that I see. I'll be honest here. I think, being on the APGA, I see a lot of those players struggle with that aspect, just because, we deal with a lot, even when we go to play in those events. And I see that bleed into their golf a lot more, and it just makes almost like you're trying to beat yourself up on the course and getting out of your own way. That's probably what I've seen the most out there. But I think, once you get the hang of that and you have that straightened out, it makes performing out here at bigger stages a lot easier.
All right, I think those are all the questions we have. Thank you very much for your time, Quinn, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.